There's a reason why you're struggling to reach your goals. There's a reason why you are failing to maintain the healthy habits that you set out to achieve day in, day out, week in, week out. And the thing is that 90% of people fall victim to exactly the same situation. This one cause underpins all the reasons why you're failing to move from where you are now to where you want to be. G'day, I'm Gary Fay, the Neuro Stoic, and I've been working with high-performing individuals, teams, and businesses to create success, mental strength, and resilience for over 20 years. And if you want to get access to all of the tools that I use with those high performers, simply click subscribe here because I'm sharing them all for free on our YouTube channel. But now back to your success. You see, there's a deep reason why people don't reach their goals. There's a reason why you start a habit on a Monday, but by Wednesday, you've already forgotten your shoes. By Friday, you're eating cake at the office Christmas party. And by the following Sunday, you've given up on your dreams of achieving what it is that you want. The simple fact is that we all have goals. We all have habits that we would like to instill in our lives. But what we do is we focus too narrowly. We do have big, lofty goals. And it's very important that we break those goals down into step by step. But where every single goal falls apart is a lack of a compelling vision of the future. You see, in the absence of a clear, conscious, and compelling vision of the future, when your motivation runs out, when your story, your historic story pops back up in your head, you have nothing to attach your success, your drive, and your discipline to. Most people who start out on a new nutrition program or a diet work very hard to maintain that diet, get success, but after a week, 2 weeks, or maybe a month, they pat themselves on the back and it starts to slip away. The reason is that they don't have a compelling vision of what's next, what the future looks like, something that is strong enough to get you out of bed in the morning without hitting snooze. If you don't have that thing in your life, if you don't have a clear, conscious, and compelling vision of your future, then how on earth are you going to maintain the rage to move forward? Staying stuck has less to do with your motivation to move and more to do with your association to a past story, a past trauma, or a past history that is more compelling than the future that you want to move towards. The only thing that is going to get you out of bed day in, day out, week in and week out is a compelling enough vision of a place that you want to land, a strong enough reason why, and a selfish view of how you are going to get there. Unfortunately, we try and attach other people and other things to our goals. Maybe you want to be a better parent. Maybe you want to be a better partner. Maybe you want more money. Maybe you want people to think of you differently. But you have to ask yourself, what is the selfish reason that I want that? No change ever happens for a primarily external reason. Certainly no significant change. If there's something that you want to achieve in your life that is meaningful, you have to attach an intrinsic, personal meaning to it. Unfortunately, when we set goals, we look at this big, bright, flashy future and automatically believe that if I start today, at some stage I am going to reach there. But when we set out about achieving a goal, we usually break down it into chunks and we work very hard on the first chunk. We hit the gym routinely. We stick to our nutrition plan. We stick to our study plan. We create time to be present with our partner and our loved ones. But pretty soon, the motivation for that wears off. It wears off because we are stuck. We are stuck telling ourselves a story of the past. We are stuck living a version of our history that is more compelling than the future that we failed to consciously contrive. If you're starting a lot of your sentences, especially when it comes to your success, with I remember when, or back when, or every time you want to move forward, you continue to say to yourself, I would be there except for, then the chances are that your history and your story of the past is far more compelling than the vision of the future that you haven't yet created. I know that you have big goals. I know that you've stated your big goals. I know that you have a vision of what they might look like. But how conscious are you about creating that vision? How clear and specific are you about that vision? And how compelling is that vision? If that vision isn't compelling enough, if it's not driving you intrinsically, if you haven't been clear and specific about the indicators, about the terms, about the conditions, and about your desires to continue towards that goal, and if you are not conscious about it daily, weekly, and monthly, then it doesn't surprise me that the story you've been telling yourself for the past year, 10 years, or your entire life is more compelling than where you're going. You have a history of repeating the story of your past over and over and over. It is a story that is well worn in your brain. It is a story that is well worn in your mind. And it is a story that is keeping you attached to a past that should be in your rearview mirror. You see, your past should be an education, not a location. It's a place to learn from, but not live in. Too many of us are stuck. We either live in the past or we're held back by the past. The only true way to achieve your goals is to create a clear, conscious, and compelling enough vision that you practice and focus on every single day. A compelling enough vision that gets you out of bed, that helps you jump out of bed, because the day ahead is more valuable to you than the day before. Because the day ahead is more valuable to you than the creature comforts of your doona, and that the day ahead is more compelling than your snooze button. You see, if you want to create any success in life, it is not about the momentum to get started. It is not about the first week or even the first month. It is what is going to get you out of bed day in and day out, when it's cold, wet, and raining outside, when you're sore and miserable, when you haven't had enough sleep. What is that vision? I know you have that vision, but do you practice it every day? Do you remind yourself of that vision? Have you created a story about that future? A visualization of that future? Do you practice that visualization daily? Do you have somewhere to take your second step? You keep getting stuck in first steps. You keep renewing and restarting your challenges. You start a 6-week challenge that falls over after a week. You start a 6-month commitment to achieve an educational outcome, or you start a lifelong goal to be a better partner. But how often do you revisit that vision? You can't just say it once and think it's going to overrule 10 years of your story. You can't just say it twice and think that it's going to unleash hell on a past that you're trying to move forward from. Your clear, conscious, and compelling vision of your future has to become your narrative. It has to become your news story. It has to be practiced. It's going to be difficult at the start. Your brain doesn't want to move you there. Your mind doesn't want you to take those steps because they are uncomfortable. You have been designed to chase comfort, and staying in your trauma, staying in your depression, staying in your anxiety, as difficult as it might feel, has nothing on the difficulty of becoming uncomfortable. So starting at the start, you are going to have to learn to be uncomfortable. You're going to have to do things that you don't want to do. You are going to have to stand up every single day for the compelling vision of your future, until one day you get to shake hands with the person that you created in your mind. This is all about creating the second step, creating the third step and the fourth step. You probably have enough motivation to get started. You probably feel in enough pain to take the first step on your own. But the single biggest reason why you don't continue that path, the single biggest reason why you haven't achieved the goals and the success that you say you want, is because your clear, conscious, and compelling enough vision of the future has not been written, has not been read, and has not been practiced every single day. If you want to learn how to create a clear, conscious, and compelling vision of the future, then we have free videos of those here at the NeuroStoic. Simply click on the button to find the next version of you. You see, my goal is to take everybody from where they are now to where they want to be. But I need your help. I need you to be bold, be brutal, and be better, and just don't stop.